Auckland Transport looks to be changing its tune on a controversial cycleway deemed too dangerous for local kids, but until now only a medium priority to fix. Newton Central School in central Auckland had to suspend its walking bus along the northwestern cycleway after kids and their parents copped abuse from cyclists and were nearly hit on multiple occasions. Many blame a bottleneck in the path itself, but there's been no commitment from AT to a fast fix. The city's transport company was out on the cycleway this morning, and at least one boss says he'd like to see change faster. Rowan Quinn reports.
They are reflective, so some people put them around their ankle, around the wrists, that kind of thing. We've got the backpack covers.
Auckland Transport spent the morning trying to get the message to play nicely across to cyclists, luring them with free coffee, bells and safety gear. It set up a pit stop on the northwestern cycleway, a couple of 100 metres from the trouble spot where the cycleway narrows, just as the kids join it on their way to school. AT's Networks and Safety Manager Randir Karma says he's been listening to everyone's concerns.
I've heard from a lot of cyclists have said to me, the solution here is to widen the path. Widen the path, separate the pedestrians, that's a good way to go.
That's a view shared by the cycling advocacy group Bike Auckland and Newton Central School, which sent a detailed proposal to AT nearly a year ago, but have seen nothing progress. Now Mr Karma says he'd like to co-design a solution with the two groups.
I've taken a walk along the pathway now with one of my engineers, and look, for most part, it looks viable. There's a few physical engineering constraints, retaining walls, trees and power poles and the like, so there's all those things we need to consider. So what I want to do almost immediately is kick off that investigation, understand the nature of the problem, what will it take to widen the path, what will it cost, and start to put a plan in place to actually get something delivered.
But Mr Karma admits he can't say how quickly the final work will happen because it's complicated and there are many landowners involved. In the meantime, he says people have to learn to respect each other on the shared path. It's hard to know whether today's pit stop reached the so-called lycra louts who parents and children say have acted aggressively towards them. Though it was busy all morning, the overwhelming majority of cyclists biked on past. Those who did stop, like Matt, were well aware of the problems.
I mean, guys are really scooting along there. You get sort of 100 kg big hairy guys like me, and you hit a child, or anybody for that matter, and it's, you know, I wouldn't like to think what would happen, to be honest.
And Paul, wearing full cycling kit, says though there are some people giving lycra a bad name, they're not the only ones to blame.
I mean, that comes down to experience as well, and you know, there's a lot of inexperienced cyclists riding electric bikes who are going very fast as well, so you know, I'm sure that they need to be careful with what they're doing as well.
Just up the path, some mums on the school run, like Anna, say they've seen signs of a change since publicity about the cycleway troubles last week.
Some guy just said hello to us, which was nice because usually we're pretty scared of them because they yell at us to get out of the way. But today someone said good morning, Charlie?
Newton Central School's principal, Ricky Tetena, says the talk of speedy action on the cycleway sounds great, but the school will reserve judgment until it sees work actually begin. I Tāmaki Makaurau, more Checkpoint, ko Rowan Quinn, DNA.